industry. It's literally, it literally exists to keep feeding people misinformation.
Okay.
Right? At the end of the day, if they gave you the actual information, you wouldn't need to keep coming back to them, and they basically put themselves out of business. So they show you this physique that literally does one thing, and they tell you, the user, hey, you have to do this other thing in order to get the body that looks like that. When we know full well that that person is doing a whole nother routine to achieve those results.
But they're only
Not
showing
what
you
they're
one part.
teaching
Not what
you.
they're teaching you.
Wow.
They're only showing
now,
you
what
one
was the
part.
word that you used for being like when you became responsible for the foods and you had to like how much you eat was determined on your age, your weight? What is this?
Oh, so macros. So one of the first things we did when we talked to this guy is he says, "What do you want? What are your goals?" Because he's gonna tailor it to how you want to live. So we had that conversation, and I was like, I really want to be strong. I want to be tight. I grew up an athlete. I really wanted to get back to that. And so where we started was macros, and that's such a buzzword, I feel like, in the fitness community right now. It's something that I had heard about. Everybody's doing macros, man. I was like, what the fuck is that?
Yeah, because it's like I guess I'm not in the fitness world because I had never heard
Oh
of
my
it.
God.
But you eat macros every single day.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right? With every meal you have, it has these things called macronutrition, like macronutrients.
Okay.
And so,
Like this is something that we're gonna find like on the little labels of the food that we eat, or
No.
no?
well, yes,
It
kind
doesn't
of.
say macro.
It doesn't.
Well,
It doesn't say macros, but it tells you the nutritional facts on your bottle.
Okay.
So when you look at a bottle of food or a bag of food or whatever it is that you're eating, it'll tell you how many calories per serving, the size of the serving,
Right.
what your protein, fat,
carbs,
carbs,
sugar.
and
Oh,
sugar.
we're talking
salt,
about
all
how
that
to read the
stuff.
label.
The nutritional label.
Uh huh.
So
Right.
doing macros is only following, all you're worried about doing is eating a specific amount of protein, carbs, and fat per day. That's what all macros
That's it.
means. That's all that
Okay.
means. When someone says I'm on macros, they're just eating a specific amount of protein, carbs, and fat, which are your
But
macros.
what are you
Which are your
eating? What are you eating? Or what like? Or are you staying like? Are you still eating like fruits, vegetables, and
Yeah.
like? Are you just eating whatever? Like you can say.
Yes, but there's a big learning curve because in order to fill those gram requirements of each category,
You have to be
to
deliberate.
look at the back of every single thing you put in your mouth and look at the ingredients. So if I'm supposed to eat 50 or 80 grams of protein a day, and I'm like, I feel like eating goldfish, I need to turn the label over and say, okay, if I eat 15 goldfish, it's going to be 10 grams of protein, and now I only have 40 left to eat for the day. So everything you put in your mouth, you're like doing math.
Oh, so that's
all
gonna get rid of
day.
all my fat snacks. That's gonna get rid of all of my
wish y'all-
M&Ms because that's what my problem is right now.
So this is what I mean though about unlearning things. Like you hear like, oh my god, fat's so bad. Let me make everything non-fat. Your body can't function without actually eating the proper amount of fat. So I was shocked how much fat I actually had to eat every single day. I was shocked by how many carbs I had to eat every single day because I was like, all you hear is carbs are bad, fat's bad, just run on the treadmill, and it's like incorrect. You need to eat carbs, you need to eat fat, and you need to lift weights. And I was eating so much food, I was so full. I was texting the trainer, and I was like, there's no way this is right. And then I'd get on the scale for weigh-in at the end of the week, and I lost like 3 pounds. I was like, this is insane.
So how long has this journey been?
For me, 6 months.
For me, a year.
Wow, y'all look amazing. Not that you didn't look amazing before. You know, I'm not just saying that. But tell us a little bit about some of the stuff that you're into and how has you becoming more fit, has that affected your modeling career? Has it improved it? Has it, like, have you found any difficulties with that? Oh yeah, by the way, she's absolutely stunning. I don't know what she's looking like on this camera, but I'm telling you, breathtaking, beautiful. I've said that from the day I seen her. Is that correct?
That is a fact.
Absolutely
Oh,
correct.
Thank you.
Yes, absolutely correct. And so, and I said, Ryan, good job. You did good right there. But I know that you have been very successful in that role of being a model, and I seen you in Walmart on picture. So, has that affected you at all? Like with changing your physique, has that affected your career in any way?
So how quickly can I sum up the last decade that I've been in the industry? So industry standards, anything above a size 4 gets thrown into the plus size category.
Okay.
So that's where I always have been since I started 10 years ago. Even though I was, to most people's on the street, naked eye, oh, you don't look plus, you look like a normal sized girl, blah, blah. I'm like, okay, I didn't do it. It's industry rules.
Okay.
Since then, the industry has changed a lot.
Okay.
It used to be a size 14 sells the best. There was a lot of pressure on us to gain weight, which is something a lot of plus models don't talk about. And a lot of us got to a point...
gain weight.
To gain weight. Because everybody knows that models traditionally are a size 0 to 4 is usually kind of getting fat. And then now plus size became a thing, and so now we've kind of blown open this whole sphere.
So you're not a 4 and you're not a 14.
I am
so
absolutely not. I used to be, when I started, I was like a 10, 12, closer to a 10, and then I felt the pressure to gain weight. I stopped going to the gym so much. I was a 14. I was working for certain brands like Lane Bryant and all that stuff, but I started to not be very happy. I missed, like I said, I was always an athlete, and I missed being strong. I missed that part of who I always was. So I started to slowly lose weight. That happened mostly while we were out in California, while we lived there, and it was great for me. And then I took the plunge with the trainer, and I was like, I'm gonna do what I want. And I'm with a new agency now, and things are great there. I'm not with the other agencies that put more pressure on me to be heavier. And I'm also at a time in my life where I'm like, I don't care. I'm going to be me. And how I feel like...
I love that.
Yeah, I'm like, I don't care. If you don't like me, don't book me. I'm done. So I am happy. I'm doing what I want. I'm working for good clients. I just got back from San Francisco doing Old Navy and Gap, so things are good.
That's great. Absolutely wonderful. I love to hear that because, you hear the horror stories about, eating disorders related to modeling. They're not eating enough, or they're binge eating and
the girls eat cotton balls
and stuff like that. So it's happy to hear that you're in a really great space.
Thank you.
How much of your journey was just mental? Was any of that part of your journey was spiritual?
Was any part of it spiritual?
Yes.
That's a great question. Yes. I've always said that, like, if it wasn't for God, I'd probably be dead by now. Just because any time I've dealt with a lot. I've always been very sensitive. I was bullied a little bit in school. And then, I found this passion artistically in the world of fashion and entertainment. And I tried my best to prepare myself for all of that judgment that I knew was going to come with that. And everyone talks about the rejection and all that sort of stuff. And so to be able to handle all that and try not to internalize it so heavy, I have to talk to God. I always have to go back to Him. It's so absolutely. And I think things actually started a little bit easier. And then as time went on, it got more and more mentally difficult. Okay. Because modeling is a weird industry where, like, let's say you're an accountant and you want to get a job in accounting at this business. They want you to have a lengthy resume, right? They want to see that you've been an accountant for the last 6 years and you have this great experience. Right. Modeling is the type of industry where when you're new, you get two things. You get, she's a little too green, but then you also get, she's a fresh face. And they always want new meat. They want who's new, who's a new face that I can put on my brand.
Not the long resume. They want the total opposite.
Yeah.
So your experience, is it working against you in a way?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. Okay. And then there's always kind of been like, that, like I said, a lot of things have changed. So there's no longer this hard cap on like, once you're past 25, your career's dead. Once you become a mother, your career's dead. Once you get married, your career's dead. I went through all of that. When I was trying to switch agencies, Ryan and I got married, my managers were like, take your ring off. Oh. Like, I went through all of that. And now things are different, and these new girls coming in don't have to experience the same shit. But it wasn't always like that. So it got very much in the middle, it got very mentally difficult, and there were a lot of times where I was like, I don't know if I can do this anymore. Between the pressure to keep up with the gaining weight, between take your ring off, you think you trust certain people, and then you find they move on to different places, and then they badmouth you, and you're like, it's a very difficult space to stay. And then on top of it, you start getting older and older, and people say, oh, I know her already.
Oh,
Who you got
wow,
that's new?
right.
Yeah, and you're
right.
like, hold on, I'm so good at my job. Like, I'm so experienced. What do you mean you want somebody new? And then it's funny because then these companies bring on these new girls. Now there's Instagram. They bring on these Instagram girls. And then you hear the clients pissed. Oh, she doesn't know what she's doing in front of the camera. I'm like, well, you got what you paid for. Mm-hmm. You've got these girls, and there's so many girls like me. There's so many girls that I came up with that are so talented and just don't have the fame, don't get hired, and it's a very difficult space to stay in, and you've got to constantly have a team behind you that's going to believe in you and push you, because you could be a great model, but if they don't care and they're more focused on whoever else they had, you're just going to sit there.
How hard was it on your marriage? Was it hard at all?
I don't think it was that hard. I think I put Ryan through the ringer with some stuff in terms of like when Instagram got bigger and bigger and bigger, and clients started looking at your Instagram first to see what you look like and the image you're presenting. Being an influencer is very real, and the page has to be super curated, and you've got to look a certain way, and you've got to look really expensive, and you've got to blah blah.
Oh,
I think
you?
Yeah.
I guess I'm far from influencer because nothing is looking expensive on my
In the high
page these
fashion
days.
world.
Gotcha.
I think I put him through the ringer. There was a period where, like, I felt so in my head, like, oh my God, they want me to post all these pictures. So, like, every time we would go out, I'd be like, here, take my picture. And it sucked because I didn't want to do it. I just wanted to go to dinner with my husband. But I was like, I have to put new pictures up. The agency's going to call me.
Oh, that's a lot of pressure.
Oh my God, it's horrible because it leaks into your everyday life. You're taking work home now every day, all day. It got really, really hard. But.
So did you ever think about being a model? Because this picture that you had on, I think it was Instagram with the Eiffel Tower behind you.
Yes, I took that picture.
Oh my.
People say it to him all the time.
Oh my God.
I don't like people.
So you have to be, well, you're a businessman.
That's right. I can sell anything. That don't mean I
Right.
like people.
So how do that like come together for you?
So I prefer to keep to myself, keep my distance.
So you
and all
have
that stuff.
employees that's out mingling with your everyday people, or
No.
is that your part of the job?
I do it.
Ryan is a complicated fellow.
I do it. In my personal life and what I want to do with my time, I prefer to just kind of keep my group small, stay within my group, and operate
Personal,
within it,
right.
right.
Okay.
But when it comes to once I put on the okay, it's time for business hat, I'm gonna talk to anybody.
So let's talk a little bit about your role as the CEO of
COO.
CEO.
No, COO. Yep.
Okay.
That's CEO.
CEO, COO.
Yep.
Let's talk about your role in that. So, how responsible are you for keeping Wonderfully Made relevant?
I feel like I should answer that question.
You want to take that one? I mean, I can try to answer it.
When I started We Are Wonderfully Made, I knew what I was good at, and I knew what he was good at. And a lot like our marriage, we fill each other's gaps. And so I'm very good at design. I know exactly what I want things to look like. I know I've got the long vision. I'm the web designer. I can do all the web building. I can do all that stuff. He is crucial to the company because he is the networker.
Okay.
He, like, what does he say? You could sell salt to a slug.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
And he has a lot of connections. He's so good at talking to people. And I have never felt that was my specialty. I'm very shy. I don't feel like I'm good at networking. I can do it, but I don't like it. He's a natural at it.
Okay. So together you guys are
the perfect team.
Yes. The perfect team.
I tried to put them on, but it's all
The perfect team. I
we
like
try to
that.
be. We try to
So
be,
I wanted to like dig in a little more, and maybe you guys can kind of give information or drop some gems on married people that are also partners.
Okay.
How you can kind of keep it civil. Like, you're not going to always agree on maybe the direction we should go or what we should do or how we should do it or that kind of stuff. But you guys, like she said, you fill in the gaps for each other.
Absolutely.
So how do you make that work? How do, like, what kind of advice could you give to, newly married? Because people get married like in droves. I didn't even know so many people wanted to be
Really?
married. Like, when we did it a long time ago. But when we did it, long time ago.
We try and get on y'all level.
We're like, oh, you are on the right track for that. But it wasn't like, we were young. We were in our early 20s when we got married, and that's not what people was doing then, you know. And then those that were getting married in their 20s didn't make it to 30 married. But, and now, you know, people ask us, well, what did you do? And I'm like, that's my best friend. Like, it's like take it or leave it, and I'd rather take it than leave it. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. So I feel like that's what kind of make it work for us, because that's my man's in $100,000. You know what I mean? So I get to be who I am all the time. He doesn't try to like change me. Like, even with us starting this whole thing with the She Shack, it really wasn't his thing. Let me just say, he just kind of like jumped on board and was like, well, okay, the camera's on, and then that was it. And now it's become like, you're not gonna go with me to Ryan's? You're not gonna set up the cameras? Like, who's gonna do this for me? So he was like, what'd he say? It's gonna cost you?
Yep.
So we have humor, we have fun. We don't always agree, but we respectfully disagree.
So I think one of the things that Iman and I talked about really early on was the importance of understanding what role we were playing at what time.
Okay.
So when it was time to talk business, all that personal stuff was immediately removed. All the emotion, all the feeling about it, like, it's done. It's business.
It's hard for me sometimes. I'm sensitive.
I was just getting ready to say, couldn't that be difficult? Right.
But
he's always shocking me back to
remind
take emotion
her
out of business.
every single time, like, you cannot. Business is not emotional.
He's right.
Mm-hmm.
It's not emotional. Mm-hmm. You address whatever the situation is based on the facts and whatever financials are associated with it, and you move on.
Right.
Once the business is addressed and we're out of business mode, it's back to husband and wife, crack jokes, whatever we do. Like, it's whatever.
I was reading this book, and I wanted to bring up something to you, because this book keeps showing up in all my She Shacks, right? This is an old book.
Yeah, Napoleon Hill.
Think and Grow Rich. So in this book, it talked about the difference or the lack thereof of riches and poverty.
Yes.
And it says that poverty is just like riches. You handle them accordingly. So if you're rich and you want to remain rich, you do the things that you did to get rich. You continue to do those things to remain rich. But if you're in poverty and you want to get out of poverty, but you're not doing anything different to get out, it's like you're going to continue to be in poverty.
Yep.
And it's like, whether you in poverty or you in riches, it's all going to be how you actually see it.
Absolutely.
Manifesting it, having faith in it, having burning desire for it, having auto-suggestion. Like, how important is that for you to keep growing in your business when you're setting goals? When you're setting these goals, are you constantly reminding yourself what these goals are? Or once you get them set in your head, this is it, and I'm working for it every day. I'm just going for it every day.
So for me, the goals for the business are here.
Okay.
For her, I think she writes them down more and all that stuff. Like,
yeah, I'm a notebook keeper, but I also I always remember, like, when we started the company, I just remember we were home and Ryan looked at me and he said, "What is your goal? What do you want? What are you trying to do with this?" And I never forgot that, because that was my goal then, it's my goal now, and it's going to continue to be my goal. I was like, I want to be in every grocery store shelf. That's it.
How close are you?
well,
We're in 32.
Yes! That is so... Listen, I'm telling y'all, I could not wait. I've been telling everybody about this. I'm like, they're in the markets, they got their own thing. A young power couple actually doing their thing. How long have you been married?
5 years.
5 years.
Congratulations. This is like so good. I want weddings and more grandbabies, and my kids are saying no weddings, no more grandbabies, no to everything. So you have this one that's 8. You better cherish every single step of the way. Every single step of the way, because you're not getting any more. Where is my great grandkids? Great nieces, nephews, dogs, somebody. What's that?
Well,
Hold on. What do you want? You want us to be young and successful and have a successful business, or you want us to throw a kid in there? Which is it?
All of it.
Well, the reality of the situation is it's all
time.
about. You just mentioned right,
Right.
In this Think and Grow Rich book, how if you're rich and you want to stay rich, you have to do habits of the rich.
Right.
If you're poor and you don't want to be poor,
You still need habits of the rich.
you have to do habits of the rich.
Right.
But if you're poor and you keep doing habits of the poor,
You're
going to
gonna remain poor. Exactly.
So for generations, our communities have struggled financially. Why?
For habits of the poor.
Because we keep having poor habits. Part of having poor habits is having kids before you are financially stable enough to support them.
Absolutely.
100%.
And so I'm telling
We
you,
made that mistake, by the way.
That's cool.
I mean,
but
we
y'all good.
made that mistake, but I think what helped
Fun
us.
making a mistake.
We did. We weren't ready, but I think what helped us is that, one, we remained a team.
Mm-hmm.
2, we absolutely had a village.
Yeah.
Of the village in a lot of communities is non-existent anymore.
Yeah.
But we was fortunate enough to be young people that had an entire community, church, family, friends, aunts, cousins, uncles to help along.
So y'all were stationary.
We were
In your younger years, you stayed in one place for the most part.
No, we got married in our 20s, 24. And within a year and a half, we was from Louisiana to New Jersey. We're from New Jersey to Pennsylvania. We're from Pennsylvania to Delaware. We've moved around.
But family was always with you.
No, it
right?
was us. Once
It was
we
just
left
y'all?
New Orleans, it was
Okay.
just us.
So the thing,
Yeah, it was just us.
the thing that Iman and I like to kind of do is set a true plan on everything,
Mm-hmm.
right? I spent the last decade in the military, which meant every
Thank
two
you for your service.
absolutely,
Yes.
which means every 2 years or so I was getting ready to move.
Yeah.
I don't know about y'all, but
Yeah. No, he was not active. He was more engineering, traveling around NAVC over here, Lockheed Martin, that kind of thing.
But when you moved, you had it was your decision to move, not the government's decision to move you.
Right.
So you were
right,
able to move on your own time.
Right.
When we were in Virginia, I got my orders on a Monday, right? And then we had to leave by like Friday, right? You remember that?
Yes.
So we had to sell a house and buy a house.
Yeah, we never got a chance to see the house.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because
yes.
literally, I thought that I had another 6 months before I was going to be moving.
Mm-hmm.
And they called me and was like, hey, you're up for orders. Here's your orders. So
That's powerful. That's power
so
in that.
so having kids in a situation like that, that's not ideal. How
No, I get it.
How am I going to have a kid and then I not have control over how their life is going
Well, where
to
are
look?
we now? Are we staying here for a while?
We locked in.
Okay, so now y'all settled in. We not moving.
No.
Ain't nothing about to be shifting and moving, right?
No.
So let's talk about these damn kids now. Let's talk about these.
So I'm gonna tell you like I told my mama. We gonna have kids when we ready.
I'm ready. Whenever y'all ready, I'm definitely gonna
Right.
be ready.
But every single time somebody asks me about another kid, it's gonna add more time to when the kid actually is gonna
Well,
arrive.
I'm gonna tell you this. I believe in everything work on God's time. So you can say what you want to say.
And I'm telling you, God's time
still have to do the
is
deed.
God's time.
Right, he definitely have to
But
do the deed.
we gotta
Right.
do what we gotta do in order to
Right.
make that happen. And,
Right.
if we are putting roadblocks in the way of that, then guess what? Ain't gonna happen.
So tell us where we can go and buy We're Wonderfully Made.
Absolutely. So you can buy We're Wonderfully Made hot sauce in 2 main places. So go to wearewonderfullymade.com. That's wearewonderfullymade.com, and you can purchase directly on our site, or you can go to our Amazon storefront All you need to do on Amazon is search "We Are Wonderfully Made." Our storefront will pop up, and you'll be able to purchase directly from our store on Amazon.
And if you're trying to find us in your local grocery store, because there's a chance we might be there, on wearewonderfullymade.com, we have a store locator, and you just type in your area and find us.
Absolutely.
Absolutely wonderful. Thank you so much for having us in your home. So, wait, you're supposed to be showing us what this house looks like. You're supposed to be giving us, putting it right on here right now.
Oh, on there?
Yeah, right now. Because
Are
I'm
people
gonna.
not getting a tour of my house? Let me decide.
No, bring me the bottle.
Oh, the bottle.
bottle.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the house.
Oh,
wait a minute.
no.
She said, I'll grab a bottle. Yeah.
I mean, they haven't even had a tour of my house.
I was like, what? I was like, right. My husband would never agree to that.
No. Absolutely not. I'm so happy that you guys let us come and just celebrate with y'all. We're going to put this everywhere. We're going to talk about this everywhere. I think this was amazing.
Yeah, when Ryan was in the military, I was like, I'm not having kids with you until you're out.
I don't blame you.
I'm not marrying somebody to then
It was
still
hard.
be a single mom.
No, it was hard. Let me just say this. It was not easy. It was absolutely not. The first time Tremaine left, our youngest was 6 months old, and he was in DC, and we're in New Orleans, and it was so crazy because initially all of us were supposed to be going together, and then it's at the last minute, after we done gave up the apartment and packing up all the stuff, it's like, we don't need the family, we just need you. You know, so now it's like, I got this new baby. We already had 3 little ones, and we had just gotten married. I don't even think we had been married a year.
4 kids at that time?
Yes.
Oh, God bless.
Yes.
I told you we had fun.
So, it was like we had just gotten married. I don't even think we was married a year, right? And so me and the kids are packing in at my parents' house because we done gave up our apartment and all this kind of stuff. And I'm like, I went into it like I'm like Superwoman. Like, yeah, I got this. Got the cape on. Like, listen, honey. I'm calling him like, this is not going to work. You need to get back here. I don't know what you have to do, but I can't do that. Listen, it was horrific.
And at least you could call him. He was in subs. There was no communication whatsoever.
My goodness.
Even when he went to surface, he was gone for 6 months. We FaceTimed twice.
Wow.
I'm not doing that. I'm not doing it to myself, and I'm not doing it to my kid, because here's the thing. I may have fallen in love with you, and I made the choice to ride this out with you, but my kid didn't.
Right.
And I'm not having my kid grow up saying, where's daddy, 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 and me having to make up all this shit.
It sucks to grow up and have daddy issues, because I'm not going to even hold you. Everybody kind of know my story a little bit. I never knew my biological father. I found him when I was in my 20s. I never seen him before. He died while he was in prison. I was raised by my stepdad, who's really my dad, and like, yeah, I grew up with daddy issues. It's horrible to actually be still trying to find your space as a woman with a man when you have issues of an absent male. It was like, there's certain things that moms just cannot do. It doesn't matter if you're a male or a female. There's certain things that the father has to do. And for people say, oh, you hear dads are so important to their sons. They are equally important to their daughters, if not more so, because they teach us the tools of what to look for in a man when we become, of age to start dating and looking into being married. And if you don't have a guidance or someone that has set a standard for you, you don't have a standard. So you kind of bumping around until you figure it out, this is not a statement bashing men. I don't want, men to think like, oh, here's another something about men. This is really just a personal statement about me, and one of the things, like, when I became a mother, when Tremaine and I became parents, it was so important to me that no matter what, we was going to do this together. Like, this was the it. This was no turning back. We not reeling it back. And so I feel like as women, sometimes we put a lot of pressure on men to be super dads when being a parent is really a partnership. It's like it's not like 50-50. It's literally 100, 200 on both ends of the stick. So when I say that, like, where's the kids, it's really more or less like, typically I almost feel like I'm supposed to ask that question, because when you get to a certain age and the kids is getting on and all this and that, where the kids at? But I respect the fact that you guys are being so responsible about being parents, not taking this journey lightly or anything. Yes.
I think that's the track time to speed up the process.
I'm
That's
having
subtract the
fun.
time, right? You save your ask for the kids, you add time. She took it back, so that's subtracted.
Thank you.
Maybe it zeroes out. We won't-
Now it's zeros out.
It's zeros
But
out.
honestly, yeah, I'm really.
These my kids right here. These are my kids.
Yeah.
Listen, put
This-
them up
This
because
little,
I want
this
y'all.
little Trini, this little Mango.
No, this is my absolute favorite about this. Put this shit on everything. I'm telling you, what they tell. What is that other thing they say? You got to put this shit on everything. Is a commercial that says that we need to make this a commercial. Put this shit on everything.
Thank you.
I'm talking about fried chicken, baked chicken, barbecue chicken, sirloin burgers, hamburgers, turkey burgers, gumbo, jambalaya, dirty rice. I'm saying listen, I had this shit on some sweet corn. It is phenomenal. Check this out. Make sure y'all go out and support our black businesses, man. They are doing a phenomenal thing. Power couple, husband and wife.
Thank you.
I love you guys.
Thank
you
you
for having
so
us here.
Absolutely.
The She Shack came all the way up New Jersey.
We're honored.
Yes, no, I'm honored. It's been, and we got to do this again sometime.
Absolutely.
This was fun.
Yeah, this is
Yeah.
gonna be big.
Okay. I'm with it. Let's do it.
No, this is gonna be big.
Yeah.
You're gonna be like the She Shack. We gonna have a commercial. Thank
have
you
to
guys for
endorse
tuning
them.
in. I love
Absolutely.
y'all so much. Thank you for your support. Thank you, Ryan. I love you. You know I love you. Let me tell you, I forgot to tell y'all. Go to my YouTube channel, Conversations from the She Shack with me, AQUEEN. Hit the like button, share, subscribe. I think I'm saying all of that stuff right because I still be struggling with that. But y'all know what I'm talking about. We're going to be right back next Tuesday, same time, 7 o'clock. We was a little late tonight because we was traveling. But let me tell you something, honey. I hit that thing in Dynamic Sports plus 2 mode, and we saved like 18 minutes getting here. So, again, man, thank y'all for the support. Thank you for the love. Thank you for coming out. Look for this in your local store. If not, catch them on Amazon. You can go on the internet and go where?
We are wonderfullymade.com. Spell it out. WeareWonderfullymade.com.
Look for them, man. This is going to be awesome. Thank y'all so much.
Absolutely. Thank you.
Peace. Oh, happy Pride. Y'all like my Pride dress? And my Pride shoes. Look, I'm going Pride all the way. Check me out. I support everybody. This is a non-biased platform. We love everybody. We spread love everywhere. So even though it's almost over, y'all got 2 more days left in Pride, and I'm representing. Thank y'all. Peace.
How we over.
Yes, we are over. And so we're going to just take these with us.
Oh, all right.
Oh, man. Thank you for having me. So now,
Thank you.
when y'all coming to see us?